There he is.
Check,
There
check.
he is. There is the man. He
I had to
looks
switch over to
like
mobile, unfortunately. You know, I hate mobile with this,
he
but
looks like he is on the Stranger Things cabin. Are either of you guys Stranger Things fan? Did you watch?
I did not. I wish I did. I've heard it's a cultural phenomenon at this point, though.
It is. Dave, you?
no, not at all.
We lost you, Dave. Here's the problem. We were talking about this last night at New Year's. First of all, Happy New Year's to you guys, even
Happy
Dave,
New Year.
who's in the dark. Do you remember the TV show Alf?
Yeah, of course.
Alf feels like it. How long do you think Alf was on TV for?
Gosh. How long ago was it on, or how long?
How long did it run?
5 seasons. I don't know.
I would have said 8 because it felt like my entire childhood was 4. But there were 100 episodes in 4 years. It was 26 episodes per season. So the reason I'm saying this is, like, how many were there for Stranger Things? I'm sure some people out there could quick Google that. But the thing is, there's such a delay between like season 1 and 2, 2 and 3, whatever, that someone's like, "Are you ready for this?" I'm like, I don't remember what happened the last 2 seasons. Like, I have to go watch them again.
But that's the thing. Is this a brilliant strategy? Because what happens? You go back and you rewatch. We rewatched season 4 before season 5 came out.
Had to.
So I mean, I have to wonder if this is, baked into why this is so successful.
Maybe.
I just told my 17-year-old the other night. He was like, he had his first party at our house. He was like, I made it too short. I told people, come at 6, leave at 9:30. He was like, I was afraid it was going to be boring. I said, you want people to leave wanting to come back, wishing they could stay longer. Don't keep them here wishing they could leave. And so it's the same thing. Back to, Dave versus me. I'll do an eval. You'll be in and out the door in 20 minutes because I want you to want to come back tomorrow. I don't want to overload you with a ton of information today. That's the whole thing.
I changed all of like my introductory phone calls from like, I think they were an hour, then they were 45. Now they're 30. And I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, do you know what? Like, if I could do an analysis of 100 phone calls or 100 calls or whatever, it's that first 5 or 7 minutes of a Zoom call. How are you? I love your living room. Like it's just like the stuff that doesn't really, like, can we just, and at the end, we don't know what to do. It's funny how that works. We get done right when, we're at time. So then shorten the time.
So let's hear what you guys do for the big New Year's Eve. Dave, start.
Yeah, you're in somewhere tropical.
Even though it's 42 right now, we're in Kissimmee, Central Florida.
Oh, nice.
It's cooler than we would like, but it was warmer a couple of days ago in South Florida. But yeah, just laid low, nothing crazy. We went out to dinner, but other than that, we were in bed by 10:30, and that is the new me. That's the new us. That is. I mean, I think maybe this is the first or second year that we went. Maybe second year we went to bed before midnight, and it's glorious. The only thing that matters is my health and wellness. And if I don't stay up until midnight any other night, like, why do it one extra night just because Ryan Seacrest is on TV?
Yeah, I went to a buddy's house and like they had all been in Florida and drove back the day before. One of them, the guy hosting the party. His wife is always ready to go. Lauren's ready to go at 3 a.m. at any given moment. But I was like looking at my buddies. I'm like, if I dip out early, are you going to be mad? And these are guys I've known since elementary school. And they were like, you're the only one without a wife and kids. You're the only one who can bail it. Like run for us. Tell us how it is. Text us when you're in bed. I want to know.
Yeah, we do a big party poker tournament, but it's all family. It's all kid friendly. Every single year we do it. And every year, I just pulled up on the screen, I don't understand how this works. This is Dave, have you ever been to Times Square on New Year's Eve?
No. I'm not a native New Yorker, but native New Yorkers do not go to Times Square.
Well,
and Jimmy, you're from upstate, so you're not a New Yorker.
I was born in the Bronx.
Okay, all right. So
I would say that there's an asterisk to saying native New Yorkers don't go. When you're 21 or when you're 19, you might. So I had a buddy who went to Columbia. So I went to college upstate, but we came home for Christmas break and my buddy was like, I got a dorm room in Manhattan. Like, if we're not taking advantage of this, We were like 20. So we went, and this is pre like cell phones and whatnot. So yeah, I have no photos or videos from this. Would I go again? Absolutely.
Way back. It was way back.
Absolutely.
So Jimmy, you can get that image. I don't know why I can't get the image off the screen.
Oh.
What's up there in the meantime is a picture of 2024. It was the same in 2025. How does Planet Fitness have the money? I understand it's a big company, big chain, lots of cash. How can they possibly afford to spend all of that money on that sponsorship, ad, whatever you want to call it? I looked up in ChatGPT. There's no publicly available information, which I'm surprised. Isn't Planet Fitness a publicly traded company?
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it said it could be tens of millions of dollars to have that night
Easily.
and all that branding. How is that possible that they have that kind of money?
I guess the question would be like, how many stores do they have? What's the average revenue? We can do the math. They're like cash flow, right? Pretty quick if that's available.
Or they borrow some of the money, and they know based on their financials and their projections they're gonna, cover those payments in the next 3 to 6 months or whatever.
If I were smart, I was looking at this photo, went into my head immediately, because we all have our own lenses.
Right.
If you've got that kind of branding going on and you don't have several different media teams shooting non-New Year's Eve related stuff while you have all the branding in New York City, you're an idiot. Right?
Yeah.
You better be multi-capturing at this point.
All right. Where are we taking the combo?
I feel like we have a lot in the group chat, but I honestly wrote you guys off for today. I was like, there's no way. And then I didn't prepare.
I got something. Okay. Tony's going to love this. Jimmy's going to love this. We're talking video. We're talking attention. We're talking leverage. All right. So we've been going down to my wife's family out here and the other, South Florida and Fort Lauderdale for forever, for as long as I've been around, for the last 10, 15 years. So there's this little ice cream shop called Cherry Smash. It is no different than any other ice cream parlor across the US, most likely. The only difference is that, well, first of all, we've been going, intermittently, and there's a little, some screenshots and videos I sent you guys. There used to never be a line at this place. And then all of a sudden, Annie, my wife's cousin, was like, yeah, we're Cherry Smash, but like now there's always a line. He's like, because they kind of like went viral. There's like a bunch of TikTok videos and this and that. And so, well, why though? So you go there and it's just over the top with Christmas decorations, like outside on the facade of the building. In the parking lot, there's a fake snow machine out front. In Florida, it's like 60, 70 degrees at night, and there's snow. So the Floridians are loving it. Inside, you can't even see any walls, like literally just like floor to ceiling with Santa stuff. And
is it like this all the time, or this is them at Christmas?
Great question. So I had to ask an employee, because I'm nerding out on this stuff, and I'm like, how could I leverage this? How could I use this type of stuff? So I asked one of the employees. I said, when it's not Christmas, what's like? Yeah. Are these decorations up? What does this place look like? When it's not Christmas, it's a whole bunch of antique diner features inside of this place. So it's like older, like wooden tchotchkes and all that type of stuff. So he said the owner, and he was going into it. I loved it. I was getting some of the background. He said the owner owns like the next couple of storefronts. So he used to be like bays, like it was like an old antique car repair place or whatever. So he owns the next couple of stores that are like bays that actually hold all this extra Christmas decorations for when it's not Christmas. Yeah. And so when it's not Christmas, there's still this nostalgic diner feel and these like old wooden antiques that are, super unique and all that. So I was taking a whole bunch of videos inside this place. And it was like pretty big inside in terms of like seating. But when we got there, there was a line of like 50 people out the door. And I did share something else with you guys about potentially like, pizza places giving away free pizza for 2 hours at a time every day in New York City. And pizza places that give away free pizza, people don't really realize like necessarily that it's a block of 2 hours of giving away free pizza. All they see is the line, right? So it's like this fake perceived, you're like your FOMO, you're missing out on something. Yeah, it's real. You don't know why there's a line, but I was like, man, how could we use this? I sent to you guys in the chat, like, I literally am thinking like, could I test this and do a Christmas in July? Could I
Well,
get a bunch of merchants nearby to like donate free Christmas stuff and do inside of our office, kind of like do it up and do like a fake Christmas in July? And then that's the test run. And then try to manufacture the same thing Cherry Smash did, which is, could we get something like that to go viral to get people to come and just be at the office, even if it's 6 to 10 p.m. at night? And in doing so, you could get free time with Santa. You could get, I don't know, a free gift, a free ice cream. We're not going to turn it into like an actual food. We're not going to dispense ice cream and pay for it. We're not going to get into the whole, food department.
I don't know.
But if
Free massage.
free massage. If we got into giving away free Goodwill or free ice cream or free candy canes or whatever, could that attract people, and would they come? And we could, I don't know, you could do QR codes or whatever, something to get opt-in, so that I'm capturing like these nearby people. Maybe they're coming from Jersey or Long Island or whatever, but this is my intent, was like, how can we use this in a physical therapy office to get name, phone number, email address maybe of people that are coming for this Santa thing, but the whole Christmas facade is attention, leverage, getting eyeballs on your brick and mortar physical therapy office.
There's a lot here. So number one, are the people that are coming, is it a destination, or are they walking by and it's, what the hell is that? I'm already here, but let me go there. Like, is this like I'm on Broadway and these are people that are now stopping to create a foot traffic jam? Or are these people who are like, I'm coming from 20 miles away, I'm making a destination?
These are people that are most of them seeing the TikTok videos, and now there's a line out the door.
Okay.
A couple years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, there was never a line at this place. It's the same ice cream, it's the same milkshakes, it's the same flavors, maybe a few sprinkling of new stuff, but like it's basically the same place, the same signage, the same everything. Now they're just doing social media and they're doing videos and all that. And their customers are doing videos, like, user generated content. So people are not walking by it. In Florida, it's not like, it's not foot traffic.
Like Broadway at the beach. You're not like on a boardwalk already, and then you're just the loudest thing. This is why stores were in the mall, right? It's like, that's insane. They're going to compete with each other. I'm like, no, they understand that, like, I don't just need underpants. I need socks and shoes and a hockey stick. You're in New York. So like a 7 in Kissimmee is a 2 in New York.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you spend $1 million in Kissimmee, and they're like, thanks for paying your rent. Like, thanks for coming out. So you have to, to not quote Spinal Tap, you have to go to 11, where Kissimmee might has to go to a 6. And that's weird. Santa Claus and snow in Florida is weird. It's not weird at all in New York. It's expected. Like, now you're competing with Rockefeller Center. I think you got to do something you have to go to the other edge. Like, brainstorming's cool, but there's this exercise called Edgecraft. Like, why wouldn't you do what's the opposite of Christmas?
Oh, the Grinch. I don't know. Like, let's
I don't know. I think the Grinch is now it's 1 degree over. It's either July 4th or Halloween. It's the anti thing, or it's so hot. We have people doing workouts. We have Venice Beach. On what street is your brick and mortar on?
57. It's Billionaires Row.
Venice Beach, and now you have heaters, and then you have people doing Venice Beach things on the sidewalk. And then the challenge, the interactive,
longboarding.
Yes, everything that's Venice Beach is New York, and it's what's cold is hot, and what's hot is cold.
All right, I like this. I think
that's a play. I don't think it's necessarily the play, but like, you can't copy them, because then you'd have to outdo them by a factor of 1,000, and that math doesn't math. But doing Venice Beach might. This is what happens when I listen to Rory. What's his last name? Rory Sutherland. And he's like, yes. I was just listening to an episode as I was getting ready today, and I was 3 minutes late. I think it's the guy who was CEO of TaylorMade and then became the CEO of Taco Bell. And he was talking about TaylorMade, and he was like, we were in a race, and it was Callaway and whoever was in front of him. And it was like, even if we did everything they did, we're just going to still follow them. And he's like, so we took he's like, why are we so slow? And they're like, so he didn't know anything about golf or like really the ins and outs. And he was like, it takes 3 to 4 years to like come up with an idea for a product and then have it in shelves. And he was like, it's a year now. And like, you can't do that. He's like, it's a year now. So you have to do it's their year now is we're not going to just put up Christmas lights. We are going to vomit Christmas. Why? Because it's a juxtaposition. And then you go on with P.T. Barnum. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. I still like, do you guys remember the pull-up bus?
Yeah.
It's a guy who drives around and he like welded a pull-up bar into his hitch in his van. And then he stands outside and there's a whole category of these videos now. And I love them where it's like, the guy walks around a college campus with a football and he goes, I'll give you $100 if you catch this. And he just throws the ball and like on his, like, girl's got an iPad and is like, who are you? No setup. But he's able to give away $100 or $1,000 at a time because it's so ridiculous, but it's not, it's not gonzo off the, it's like, wow, is she going to catch it? You do that 10,000 times and you have Big Dawes TV. I still think the pull-up bus is devastatingly, stupidly simple.
So
like
Dave shared this, which he already talked about. A Brooklyn startup founder stopped selling pizza and giving it away for free. Free slices made him $1 million in 3 days.
Wow. How? Everything else?
Well, this is exactly what we've been talking about. Back to, okay, I can charge one human for 1 hour, $100, $300, even $1,000, or I can monetize that hour that I spend with that human, put it out on media, let YouTube pay me, Facebook pay me, Instagram, all of these other things. That 1 hour of my life that I'm never going to get back, it could be monetized for tens of thousands of dollars, And so you take the experience that Dave is describing, you make it something visually appealing, something Mr. Beast would look at and say, yes, this is going to get clicks. This is going to get watch time. This is going to get people to pay attention. And then that's the product. It's not the therapy. The therapy is just the raw materials to create the product.
I created a video yesterday where I now walk around with a little pad and I just write down the word and then I create a video about that thing that I was going to explain later. And that's way easier. It was like, I live in New York where all the people from the city come in the fall and pick apples, or they look at the foliage, right? That's just leaves. That's the way we upsell leaves. And the funny part is I've lived in the city. I've lived here. I've lived in tourist destinations. I've lived in urban destinations, and people where you are always pissed that the other people are there. And I'm like, you do know they're paying for this, right? Like, this is a good thing. Also, you go to the city for things. And that's other people's houses. But anyway,
yep.
Apple orchards. Like, if you're in the market for apples, an orchard is ironically the dumbest place to go because it's really expensive to get a bag of apples. You could go 2 miles down the road to a supermarket and get probably the same apples, the exact same apples from that orchard, way less. And they know you're not going there for the apples. So they don't charge you $1 an apple. They charge you $2.50 an apple because you're there for the free band and the free cider, and Angry Orchard is down the street. So you can go get some cider sipping, and you're there for the wagon ride and the cornhole and all that stuff. And people happily pay it. Why? Because you can't get that in Manhattan. That's why you come here, right? I think it might be similar to Kissimmee. What can't you get in Manhattan?
That's another idea. We were riffing on the whole opposite of Christmas thing. Right on 57th Street, there's no trees. What if we brought fake trees? We do apple picking in the fall, and I'm trying to think of the things for getting leads and patients and attention, all that have to do with families, because then it's the husband and the wife and maybe the kids, and I think it's like an event.
As long as you can, even like if you bring a tree, make a tree, but have one of the things be a pull-up bar. Like, there should always be a movement.
There you go.
Like, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be like, what's the direct line between why is this guy apple picking, but he's a PT? Right. I don't get it.
Right. Exactly.
Movement. He's going to make a jungle gym look like an apple orchard. He's going to do all this Halloween stuff. But like, I don't know, maybe everything's 6 months later. So like, Christmas is in December. What's in June, July, 4th of July? In May, you do Halloween because that's as far as you can get. Maybe you're always 180 degrees off on your holiday. I don't know.
So Jimmy, I shared a link that you shared from Instagram talking about this cocktail comes with a letter.
Oh, this was a cool idea. Yeah. So let me bring it up. Are you going to bring it up? Or
Yeah, you bring it up. I'll bring up a screenshot.
So I saw, of course, I clicked. Yeah, just do a screenshot. So essentially, you order this cocktail called the Scarlet Letter.
Ooh.
Going back to 10th grade English, I remember it was a book. I don't remember what it was about, but everybody knows the Scarlet Letter, right? And it's fancy, and it's probably the most expensive thing on the menu, which is why people are like, "How I've got it? What is this? It's your birthday." Remind me to tell you the story about the barber chair. But I digress. So with that, when you order the Scarlet Letter, you and only you get a sealed in wax letter from the last person who ordered that drink, just to you. And then you are responsibility to write a secret letter.
That is so genius, guys.
It's so dumb. So dumb,
yeah,
but it's so smart.
It's savvy, though. It's different.
So dumb. Can I tell you about the barber chair?
Yeah.
This is dumb, but so brilliant. There's a guy who had a franchise of bars called Hardware Bar. And his shtick was a bar for 21, 22, 25-year-olds, but everything looked like a hardware store, right? That was the thing. But he also understood they were there for a show. So there was always a band. There was always a ridiculous, can't be true contest. We did vibrator races. We did dunking for donuts in beer, right? And it was this dumb contest. It was always at midnight, and then it was always late. It was always at like 12:45 to keep it going. But the trip was always for a trip for two to the Bahamas. People are like, you're not, that's not on a Friday in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Yes, he was, because he bought them in bulk from a travel agency, and it was the bare bones. So he could go on the radio and say, trip for two to the Bahamas. You have to go. You have to try. But his piece de resistance was he had mounted a barber chair on the bar at the end of the bar. So you're sitting there and you're just drinking, and you have to be like, why is there a barber chair? So there was a barber chair shot where if someone paid, a shot was, I don't know, $10 or $8 or something. The barber chair shot was $35. And if that happened, somebody pushed a button and the DJ got a little thing, dropped the lights, put the spotlight on the bar. The music came down, right? Your friend got escorted up onto the bar, usually a dude, by a female bartender who was quite attractive, right? Wearing a hard helmet. And then they do this whole like Lady Gaga, whatever, dance to it, where your friend is like getting whipped with like a belt and whatever. And then a shot poured down his throat, his head shaking just like in Mexico, and then get the hell off my bar.
No haircuts were involved. No actual haircuts.
Nope. But it was called a barber chair shot. Like a barber chair doesn't belong there, so it's juxtaposed. So like that's where I'm like, if you're gonna do something weird, like make it stupidly weird. Make it dumb. So you could do a little bit off. Like I used to do a thing called like What the Hell Theater. I would read the news, but it was all the dumbest news you could find on the internet. So it's like, oh, a regular thing is to read the news on the radio. It's like, yeah, but I read all the Florida man stories, or like, can you believe this happened? Like, so you just, I don't know. You got to make the big small, the small big. I don't know.
So do you guys do any kind of resolution or any pledges for the new year?
You take this, Dave. I have one too.
No. I'm already locked in. The health and fitness, the health and wellness.
No, that's good.
My health and wellness, family, business, that's all one bucket somehow. And then the second bucket is, friends and all that, type stuff.
Yeah, but it sounds like you don't need the resolution because you're like, I'm 3 miles into this race. Like I'm now just going to repeat the thing I'm doing, which is good. So it's not so much of a resolution, but do you guys know Jesse Itzler?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So I didn't know who he was until a couple of years ago because he started doing stuff with his buddies with like David Goggins, who seems insane, right? He's like the shaved head, former military Navy SEAL guy. So Jesse, of course, now is everywhere on my feed. And he does have a really cool story. He started like a jet business when he was like 23. And he's like, I didn't know anything about jets, but he understood what he was doing. He's the kind of guy, epic failures. But he's the kind of guy who also sits down and is like, what I learned from this? And then he just keeps going, which is admirable.
Wasn't he a white rapper too?
He did did Go New York Go. Yeah, he wanted to be a white rapper. He sold like a rap to like the Knicks. And he told the story how he's like, they paid me $5,000, which in 1989 was insane. But he's like, I had to use all the money and then more to get it made. He's like, I didn't price it right. But he's like, I understood me being the voice of Go New York Go was more than $5,000. So you spend it. He tells the story how when he was trying to sell something, I think jet services to the Yankees, they wound up saying no, and then they sold him season tickets in like 96. And he goes, we didn't have $2 to rub together. But he's like, 4 years later, I'm sitting at Yankee games with Jay-Z.
Yeah,
And he's
so
like, now
anyway.
Jay-Z's sending me clients. And are those tickets worth it? He's like, 4 billion times over. So here's what I got from Jesse. I wound up buying his product because if I see something from Jesse 4,000 times, eventually I'm like, I know who he is. He's cool. And then when he says I have a big ass calendar, eventually I go buy his big ass calendar. And this is his big ass calendar. Just a calendar. I could probably go get that printed myself, but I won't. And he says, and he's like me, where I've always got a dry erase board and I get made fun of from it by people. I need to sort of see it visually. So I bought his calendar, but then he's like, it's not just the calendar. So he's got these 3 things. So have you ever heard of a misogi?
No.
A misogi's like, you should have one crazy thing that you're going to do that year. I don't care what it is. Swim the English Channel, climb a mountain, run a 10K. He's like, but like whatever's big to you, put it on the calendar or it does not happen by accident. You don't backfill in an amazing experience. Then, so he's like, put the misogi on the calendar. Then he says, plan a mini adventure, not like climb a mountain, but like maybe do something you've never done every other month. So those are his mini adventures. And then he says, third, create 4. Now it goes to like James Clear, create 4 winning habits, not all at once, 1 habit per quarter. Otherwise it's harder to stick. And he's saying that adds up to an unforgettable year. So the 1 misogi, the 4 mini things, which he calls Kevin's rules, and the 4 winning habits. And he's like, that's how you add up to whatever. So when you say resolutions, not so much, but like awesome doesn't happen by accident. Like sometimes I guess it does, but a lot of times it doesn't. Business success does not happen by accident. I guess sometimes it does, but more often than not, you write them down. So it doesn't have to be a real resolution, but it's like, how am I going to systematize awesome? That's like what Rob Dyrdek did with his Fantasy Factory. He's like, could we just like continually do awesome stuff over and over again? And people were like, no. And he's like, hold my beer. And then he did 14,000 episodes of, MTV TV shows.
So like Dave, I don't generally have a resolution or anything like that, but I do think it's an opportunity for us. It's one of those things where I think we recognize resolutions fail. I think we recognize people want change. They don't know how to implement the change. They don't know how to stay consistent with the change. We hit the end of the year, deductibles reset January 1. I have the repeated conversation over and over and over again. How are you going to keep doing this January 1? Why are you, what do you want to do? Do you need to see me? Absolutely not. You've got all the skills. You know what to do. They want to come because they know they won't do it on their own, right? They have enough understanding of themselves, their own human nature. And this is where I think we step in as professionals and say, look, it's no surprise. People quit. What is the quit date for resolutions? Isn't it like January 12th or something?
Probably, yeah.
So like everybody understands you're going to make this resolution. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. You're going to do it for a couple of days and you're going to quit. Come see me. I have the solution to not letting you quit, to keeping it enjoyable, keeping you moving forward.
That's why you hire a coach. I knew a lot about triathlon and I was in PT school. So I knew a lot about human body. And I still hired a triathlon coach one of my last races. And he was a student who was 10 years younger than me. So 2 reasons. I'm like, he knows this more than me. And I know how I'm a big dumb animal. Like if I'm training for something with a partner or have a coach, dude, I do it harder because it feels like you're on a team.
And
so
the coach sees it from a different perspective. The guy on the sidelines with the experience sees what you're doing, sees the big picture, and can give you a different perspective that you can't get when you're in the middle of it. Now, I'm the first one to say most people aren't going to understand that. That's why most people continue to fail and make the same mistakes year over year over year. But the ideal client for us does understand that, does recognize that, and has the resources to invest in making sustainable change. So that's where I think we drop the ball. We continue to work with individuals who need our help, but they don't have the resources cognitively, emotionally, financially to really make the changes that need to be made. That's why people keep smoking. That's why diabetics keep eating, sugar. That's why, like, you see the same broken patterns happening over and over again.
Is it also how our profession, because I hate talking about a profession because it's just a bunch of people, but is it how the middle of the bell curve of our profession sells what we do, which is very transactional? You do what I say, which sucks. I don't know. That's not what a coach does, right? And then we say, well, why is the rise of the wellness influencer or the online coach happening? Is it because they sell the thing people are easy? It's easy to buy. And if the right person buys it, they get decent results. And if the wrong person buys it, they just go away.
Dave, what do you think?
I don't know. Some of those fitness influencers just sell like remote coaching and PDFs and stuff, which I don't know if that really moves the needle for enough people. You have to have some amount of, internal accountability or
but what I mean is there's less friction to hire one of those people. So if 100 people start and only 2 keep going, I like my odds living on the internet versus having to pay for a brick and mortar business and then have to turn those humans who I'm not growing new humans, right? It's pretty much people within 30 minutes, we've decided. That's a harder sell, especially when it feels medical. When it's like, isn't this supposed to be free because I paid for it already? And it's like, no, you have insurance. The insurance dictate, there's several layers to this where, like, if I see you and you show me 25 pictures of people's butts you made bigger, I'll pay for the booty program in 2026. That feels like an easier sell.
Oh, you go back to the beginning accelerator.
Go back to the beginning of this episode. Planet Fitness for $15 or $20 a month has sold enough dreams and enough aspiration and enough hope to pay for the sponsorship of New Year's Eve Times Square. There's no physical therapy business on the planet that has successfully sold the aspiration of health and prosperity better than that.
Then maybe this is not the most dumb idea. Maybe marketing your clinic as the Ministry of Silly Gates, who's actually a sponsor this year, correcting post-op limps, waddles, and spontaneous interpretive dance outbreaks since 1972. Remember, if your gait is dignified, you're doing it wrong. But that's facetious, but maybe it's not, because that's what people want. That's too tongue-in-cheek, but we're selling physical therapy, which doesn't say anything. That's like selling. It's why Roto-Rooter is Roto-Rooter and they're not Plumbers R Us.
As a reminder, though, with Planet Fitness, about 91 or 92% of their customers do not actually go to the gym.
Wouldn't that be a great thing to be in?
They have a ton of free cash, and their facilities are not worn down at the rate that they would be.
Sure.
And they don't have to get new equipment and new whatever, new locker rooms and machines and whatever, parking lots, whatever it is, everything. They don't have the foot traffic that their actual cash.
They understand that they're in the customer acquisition business. They them putting
it's so cheap, $10 a month or whatever, 15, 20, but mostly 10. People, it's so cheap that they don't cancel it, which is just, that's the same business though that physical therapy is in terms of people that, whatever, what is it, 7 to 9% of people with musculoskeletal issues actually get to physical therapy. It's like the inverse.
Right. But we say, we make it so damn hard. I did that video last week. I'm like, we make it so damn hard to is this right for me? Is this not right for me? Is this for me? Planet Fitness is do you have a pulse and 10 doll hairs? Come on in. We have this and a this and a this and a this. We're going to tell you what to do when you do it. But I think is the answer either or? If you're a PT, I think the answer is in the middle, which is create the environment, be there when you need. And if you're not needed, awesome. But when you need me, here I am, and now we'll bill your insurance.
Let me go back real quick to what Tony was saying a few minutes ago of his style of patients. I'm curious if Tony does this. I know other practices do this, which is they get a new patient, they evaluate a new patient, Mary, who's 65 years old, and then they ask Mary, they're like, hey, Mary, you have this issue, is your spouse dealing with any aches or pains, whatever, and they try to activate the spouse and then have the husband and wife or two friends or whoever, two counterparts, schedule their visits around the same time, because then that patient or client now has some, I don't know if it's like external accountability, but it's like a second person to go through this journey together, which is absolutely genius. I don't know, Tony, do you do that?
So we used to do that when we were in growth mode, when we were looking to expand, we were looking to grow, fill the schedule 1,000%. Do you have a sister, a brother, a husband, a neighbor? Like, don't you think this is such an amazing experience? Don't you think it would be even better if you brought them with you? We've seen, countless businesses grow like that. Now, no, because we've got more patients than we can handle. We've got, we're booked solid. The patient care growth is not the priority for us. But yeah, like if I was in growth mode, that's exactly what I would be doing constantly. And I genuinely believe, like, look, what else is that person doing? You're here, they're sitting on a couch watching a soap opera or Maury Povich. Like, get their butts in the clinic and everybody does better.
Yeah. I mean, if we sell this as a journey, how many people go on vacation alone versus on vacation with at least one other person? I mean, there are people who go on vacation alone, but they are the minority. They just are. So are you selling a journey or are you selling a transaction? Jim's the same. I'll do it if you do it. I'll do it if you do it. I'll do it if you do it. This is why, I think a giant miss when you graduate from high school, there's no team you're on anymore.
So look, with Planet Fitness, my wife has the $15 or $20 monthly membership. She can bring a guest. Like, you get a free guest every single time.
Every time?
Every single time. There is no limit. You can bring one free guest every time you go.
Oh, that's sticky. Because now I'm going and I'm like, okay, I kind of like it, but you're not going and I've got to use all right, what is it? $10?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. And then there's the upsell, right? Which is like you pay $10 a month and you can go to your local one. But if you're traveling, you buy the black card. I know they used to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think even the base is $10 anymore. Like, inflation has wiped that out. I think the cheapest is like
when I was
15
living in
now.
Scranton 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And there was one down the street.
So Jimmy, this came up and this seems like it's right in Dave's wheelhouse. I don't think Dave wasn't tagged on it. I'll read the post. I don't remember who shared this, but it's in my Passion for Profit.
Drew Cruz.
Oh yeah. So it says, quote, I found this company. I'm really intrigued and impressed. They offer a preventative full body MRI for cash and make a whole experience out of it. Even able to watch Netflix during the scan. Basically, what do you guys think about it? There's one coming to Nashville. I think I've heard about that before. We know that. I think it's Mayo Clinic has like a $10,000 executive assessment package where you go there for a day or two. They run all of this blood work, do all of this stuff. What do you guys think?
So the company that does that, I'm pretty sure that someone tagged it. There was a link or something, Prenovo, something like that. And Jeremy Sutton, who's a friend of the pod, commented below that he's got clients that go, so he's in Louisiana. He's got clients that drive to, I think he said Dallas to do that. Yeah. And I think I know the price point. Do you guys know the price point out of pocket for the full body MRI from that company?
$2,000? $3,000?
I think it's like 300 or 500. I don't think it's really. I don't think it's thousands.
Well, wow.
Or maybe you know what? There's probably like, here's the base rate. It's $300 for the.
Do you want an MRI? Yes. Of your left elbow. But that's $300.
But do you want the results? That's $1,000. Right. I don't know. I feel like there's probably add-ons or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, here's my litmus test, right? When I was in journalism school, the thing was, is it true? Can you prove it? So is this good or bad? Like, well, first of all, it's bad. Do no harm, right? That's the first rule. So is having an MRI bad? No. Do you understand what it can and can't detect? Yeah, it's on this piece of paper I just signed. Great. Do you have the money and want to give the monies for this? Then do it.
All right. I just ran a ChatGPT search. It says a full body MRI from Prenovo is $2,499.
Oh, my bad. So Jimmy was right. All right.
If you're just doing head and torso, it's $1,800.
Why would you only do head and torso, right? Though. What if you have somebody?
That's their downsell, man.
The downsell is torso only for $1,000, but then there's an enhanced screening package for between $4,000 and $4,500.
So I think this is the company whose marketing was Kim Kardashian posting about doing it. Like they paid her to be like to do an influencer reel or video, and she was like, "Look, I'm getting my MRI." And this, some people got pissed off. It's the same people who got mad at, what's the water company? Death Water, Liquid Death,
Liquid Death,
Death Water. I'm going to launch Death Water. Why? Because it's like getting like goggle.com. It's like it's close enough, and people might buy it. And they got heat for it because they're like, you're just trying to sell MRIs and using Kim Kardashian, and they were like, yes, that's people do that all the time. Callaway Golf does that. Easton Baseball Bat does that. So I guess, I mean, are people going to have what happened in the comments? People have a problem with it? Because he mentioned Netflix. So they understood they're selling the experience of a wellness day, but instead of like a foot rub and Himalayan sea salt, it's watching Netflix and getting MRI'd. Fads fade, facts won't is their tagline. Every resolution needs a starting point. Wow, smart marketing.
So again, they're keying in on New Year's resolution. I guarantee the website probably didn't look like that. Have that tagline 3 months ago. As I scroll through, these are the websites we should be modeling. This is the clientele we should be approaching. Who's willing to spend this kind of money to develop a baseline assessment that we could do without the technology, and then help these individuals really develop. Like, I don't know, are these guys developing a fitness plan, a musculoskeletal plan?
What's after?
What's that?
I was gonna say, what's after? Like, hey, here's your MRI results. Like, cool. Do I just bring this to my doctor now, or are you going to be my help? Do you tell me where to go next?
The scan everybody is talking about, and now more. You can book your appointments, 130,000, like social proof. You've got real people here. You can read their stories, more patient stories, human approach to healthcare, 150 strong expert team, FAQ. I mean, pretty standard website.
And where are they? Where are the locations? Does it say?
I don't know.
I'm going to go to the top.
I mean, they're opening everywhere.
Hit book a scan. Hit book a scan. Let's see if it asks you where you are. Top right corner.
Oh, here. Los Angeles. Oh, and there's it. Imagine that pricing, transparent pricing for a company at a $4,000 price point.
All right, Denver, Houston, LA, all major cities right now. Looks like.
Yeah.
No New York though. Yeah, there's New York. Where is it? New York. I'm curious.
34th Street.
Midtown.
Yeah, because a bunch of places when people work, and I'm gonna jump over and get my quick MRI. What do you mean, Steve? You're getting an MRI today? Are you okay? Oh yeah, dude, it's this thing that we bought 10 of them for the family. We're all MRI'd up. We get T-shirts that say "I MRI." Are you?
We need to get Dave one of those A-frame signs that he can wear.
Sandwich board.
Oh, we a while ago, Jimmy. You remember we were talking about doing like not like a booth, like a wooden booth or something. We were talking about in Times Square or something.
Now someone's doing those videos, and now I'm like, if we did it, we'd look like we're biting off of Sean, which is still. I think he came up with that idea independently, but like he's doing more like the prove me wrong guy with the folding table, and people just walk up. I still think the Charlie Brown, the doctor is in, would be magical. And just hidden. Oh, I got new microphones, by the way. I got even smaller. The Rode ones, even smaller.
Beautiful.
All right,
really quick, that last website, one of you guys mentioned the influencers. Any thought? Because I had sent you guys a couple of days ago some website about like online deals. It was like influencerdeals.com or something. Did you see that? But no. my real question is there a platform to find local influencers that might be interested in being a social media influencer for your physical therapy business, as opposed to just cold messaging people on Instagram, which you can certainly do.
And I had a post in Tony's Facebook group where I was like, hey, if I did that, so what I would need is I would become Uber of the NIL deal for therapy or medical influencers. And that's where people were like, well, I get these directly DM'd to me. And I'm like, yes, but what if you had 4 more a month and you can pick and choose? So that I was thinking of this, which is like I go out to the Hyper Ices or the this or the that, and I say, what are your needs this quarter? We got to reach this demographic, this demographic, this demographic. Okay. I go talk to the list of drivers that I have, right? People that I know that we all probably know already who are growing their channels. And I go, I got this opportunity. They're looking for this to do this, and this. Who's okay with that? Give me your pitch and what your rate is. And then I go shop it for you. And then you don't have to do anything.
This should be a thing. I don't know if you guys get this. I don't think we ever talked about it. About once a week for the past 2 years, I get an email from a podcast agency that's trying to place a guest on my show. And it's, someone in real estate, someone in finance. It's a lawyer. I don't know. Sometimes, and it's usually not the right fit because it's not like the physical therapy business, M&A type of like approach I want to do.
The way that works is it's someone who's budding and knows how to use a web scraper tool. So when you have an RSS feed, which is how your feed hits Spotify and all that, they'll use the web scraper tool and they'll use AI and just be like, find me shows that use these keywords. Then your email address, whoever owns the podcast, because I run several. So I get emails for all these podcasts now because my email is at the bottom. But yeah, it's a smart tool. And their cost is almost zero. They're selling the guest who's got a book. You're probably not going to get on Jimmy Fallon, but I can get you on Dave Kittle, and it makes more sense to be with Dave because this audience. But yeah, you're right. A lot of times it's like, and they're pitching really hard. They're like, this guy's a real estate entrepreneur, but he can show you medical providers how to get ahead. And you're like, huh?
They send like a one pager and like a bio sometimes and a website and sometimes
so I found one and I did one and she was a great interview. She was great. And I was like, hey, I'm curious. How much did you pay for that? And it was like $1,500 to guarantee 10 placements. So she just keeps going until she gets this woman on 10 shows. What's that cost her? She's probably running stuff in the back. These are drip campaigns. So I was like, shit, so you paid $150 essentially. I think it was like $1,500 or $2,000 for 10 guaranteed placements. I have no relationship with that service. They're not paying me. Right. But I was like, yeah, I'd take that woman. She's got a cool story. And she was shopping a book, which is the reason to do it. And she owns a bunch of clinics in New York. It's a smart move. It is annoying after a while, though. I mean, it can be. But there's no unsubscribe because you were never subscribed.
And there's the same kind of groups for different professionals. It's definitely an established model. We, in our group, in the Passions to Profit Facebook group, where I share offers, I let other therapists know. I just shot out 5 emails to specific therapists, connecting them with a product company. And I told both sides. I told the therapist and the product company, I was like, look, these are hand-selected therapists that will probably do a video in exchange for free product. Some of them are going to ask for money because they have a big enough audience and a busy enough schedule that they're not going to do it for free. I'll let you guys work it out. These are my 5 recommendations for you, product company, right now for the product you're trying to sell. And so whether it be an email list, whether it be a private group, there are communities, TikTok sellers, Amazon sellers, any of that kind of stuff.
And the product companies that are smart anyway understand that this is worth something. Otherwise, like there are people now, and there will be more people whose job it is to just I mean, I've been approached by a few. Your job is you're the influencer marketing person. You're the email person. You're the website person. You're the paid. You're the organic. They understand that sometimes they're the same people, but they understand this is a completely, well, I shouldn't say completely new, but it's a relatively in the last decade new channel, but it needs effort. There needs to be effort behind it. So you're telling me you pay someone a full-time salary to make this their responsibility, but you're not willing to pay for some that rise above. So yeah, free product is probably good for accounts up to this size, but above that, yeah, it's worth something. This is what's called CPM. By the way, you don't ever have to go with CPM if someone shows you that. Well, it's CPM. It's like, yeah, but I'm in a niche and you're talking to me and we don't have an agreement and there's no insurance company.
Never use CPM. Create your own dollar amount.
Or the only time I use CPM and I go, even if it was for CPM, that's the basement, my friends. Like that's
too low.
It's too low. Like, thanks for coming out. Like, go pay CPM with CBS.
So back to the full body MRI scan.
Yeah, we should do one.
Peter Dr. Peter Attia keeps popping up. Again, for reference, I followed him for like 15 years. I've known him forever on social media. I don't know him personally. He has the most basic, like he is the medical doctor. He has exercise physiologists. I think he has strength coaches on staff. They run you through a basic, body assessment. I don't even think they use any specialized technology, maybe the VO2 max with the respirator stuff. But I'm like, and he's at 6 figures. He takes 75, I think, patients, and that's it. He's full. Why is every physical therapist not doing this? Me included. I am in I'm not doing it.
Dave's doing it.
No, I'm not doing it. He was on the Tim Ferriss show for the longest time, intermittently, and so much so ingrained in the show. I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes he would be the host, and Tim would not even be on the show. And Peter Attia would be interviewing. I have episodes saved where I was like, this is like an awesome business podcast. Like that episode was great where he was talking to like Ray Dalio or somebody, and Tim Ferriss wasn't even there. So he's got such a history and obviously trust with Tim Ferriss, and Tim Ferriss has a gigantic show that's like legendary. And before Peter Attia even had Drive, his podcast, he was co-hosting or guest hosting on the Tim Ferriss show. And so that I think is a huge advantage that you just can't make up that ground if you don't have it.
Sure you can. It's just going to take you 10 years.
Or that, right.
So I was talking, so I've been busy, so we'll share this off air, but I've got my first quarter and my first third of 2026 going forward, right? And I've been talking to a lot of people. My little campaign on LinkedIn that I came up with, half a bottle of wine in, where I just do like marketing reviews, that freaking worked. I have people DMing me in the background, do my company. And I'm like, why are you asking me? And they're like, because I'm a sales guy at a company and our marketing sucks so bad that why I get on a call, I have to do so much education. I'm never selling it. Like the salespeople understand that marketing's the artillery. I soften the beach up, and then when you hit it, it's easier to get in there. No artillery, you get killed, right? So I've got people like, do our company next, and then the guy was like smart enough where he's like, I'll slip it to the VP of whatever, and I'm like, yeah, cool, all right. I was probably gonna do it anyway, but these things work. They're paying attention. But I've had conversations with people in C-suite positions in healthcare, and they're like, so what's the real secret with why your podcast? Oh, like you look like you're everywhere. I'm like, I'll put a camera right there and show you what I do for a week, and it's all the stupid crap that we talk about on the show. It's just I keep doing it. I'm like, do you want to have a podcast bigger than mine? Release 2 episodes every week for 10 years. It'll work. Well, we needed growth yesterday. Great. Then pay to be on someone else right this way. Pay me or run ads. Like that's it. Go get bricks and build a house, or you get to rent out my Airbnb. 2 choices.
So I know we're running low on time, but so Tony, were you suggesting like more PTs should kind of do that whole approach of just a combination of content and maybe unique offerings and higher price points, or what were you getting at in terms of like using the Peter Attia example for physical therapy?
Yeah. They're already doing it anyway. Like you're already doing an excessively thorough evaluation anyway. Let's monetize it. Let's put it out there. Let's show a community of people. I'm going to pull this up. Yeah. So the reason why Lucy could be profitable selling, this at 5 cents was because it was on TV, not because she was getting 5 cents. I don't do the depth and stuff of an evaluation that other therapists are doing. If you're going to do it, charge for it, monetize it, like make the money that it's worth, and put it out there, and tie behind that the accountability, which we've talked about 1,000 times, to say, look, this information is useless unless you do something with it. I think therapists have a golden opportunity to focus on the implementation, focus on we can get you to achieve those goals.
Instead of come here. Oh, that's where I started with the apple picking thing. I was like, PTs think we're in the Apple pricing business, but then I'm going to get, and we'll talk about this on a future episode. There's always a good like flare up on a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post about, we got to you guys are out here charging people. Dave, you chimed in on one of them. It's like, listen, if you want to offer, if this person has Apple insurance and they cover 1.5 apples per visit, sell them the apples, sell them the 1.5 apples. But if before they leave your door, you don't also say, hey, by the way, that's covered, this is extra. That's stereotyping your patient. I know my patients can't afford it. Really? It's a nice haircut you've got there. I have a Flowbee and have decided that this is worth $35, and a Flowbee, which would have been $25 once 20 years ago. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do this. That's stereotyping in the wrong way. They'll never invest in that. Have you asked?
Dave, kick off the parting shots.
Man, parting shots. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Wishing
Year.
all you guys everyone that's watching health and wellness, and only if you put in, if you put, not only, but health and wellness, but also extra health and wellness if you put in the effort and the time, whether it's for working out, your own personal or family health and wellness, and or your business health and wellness, or both.
All right. Same thing. Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for spending your time with us. I'm excited to see where the profession goes through the rest of the 12 months with AI and all the changes that are coming down faster and faster. I think we're going to see a very different profession 12 months from now.
Hopefully. I look forward to it. See ya.
That's it for this one, but we're just getting warmed up. Smash follow, send it to a friend, or crank up the next episode. Want to go deeper? Hit us at pgpintcast.com. Or find us on YouTube and socials at pgpintcast. And legally, none of this was advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. See, Keith, we read the script. Happy now?